Okay, today is May 9th. It's a Tuesday, and it's 1 week since we returned from Shriners Hospital, 1 week at home. And so I've got a few questions for Cole today. Let me adjust this down a little bit now that you've laid back. Okay, Cole, why don't you tell everybody about, over the last week, how you've managed your pain and how painful things have been.
Things have been not so painful because we've been pretty good about our pain medication, using ibuprofen and Tylenol and Valium and stuff like that. So it's good that we've been staying on top of the pain. Today's probably been the worst day so far because I tore a muscle in my arm lifting up a heavy object. And so it hurts pretty bad and it's getting muscle spasms. But besides that, the pain has been pretty okay. You can't stand up too long, or you have to lay down a lot. But make sure that you're always on top of the pain is the biggest thing, I think.
And as far as walking or getting exercise, have you been tell a little bit about how far and how you started out walking and where you're walking it now?
Well, I started out roughly, walking a few feet the first day, and then you gradually gain more and more. And the days you feel better, you go farther. The days you don't feel good, you go, less. So it's all about how good you are feeling that day. So, but I probably walked 3 walks yesterday. Today maybe I can walk 1 or 2.
Okay. Now, in terms of getting in and out of bed and any advice, I know it's 1 week.
Oh, there is one advice I would give for getting out of bed. It's
I'm gonna back it up. There you go.
This is, I had to get pumped up, but when you're laying down, you have to maybe I can do it. Oh, can you see it pretty good right now?
I can see good right there.
So you want to put your arm like this, and your other arm right like this, and put it on the bed, and slowly lower yourself. Put your legs up, and then your arm, and then, get straight. And then when getting out, this is the most important part, is doing that same thing. Lifting up. Okay.
What were the three, the acronym that...
BLT is bending, no bending, lifting, or twisting.
And that came from Mike, the physical therapist at Shriners. Okay, and you go ahead and get back in and we'll continue. And so, in terms of diversion and keeping your mind occupied, what have you been doing to pass the time?
Video games mostly.
Video games and watching some
movies and whatnot. Yeah.
And pretty handy to have a laptop that you can have in bed to enjoy. You watched quite a bit of the time you spend lying down. Is that correct?
Yeah, and
nobody needs to tell you when to lay down. I noticed that you get up it started out you were only getting up for 5 minutes at a time. Now it's maybe 30-40 minutes, but you come and sit down yourself because your back tells you when it's time to sit down.
Yeah, I mean, you can start, if you start feeling tired, and when you're in pain meds, you know that it's time to lay down. Because the most time, I usually only feel, good about, glasses. I only feel good about, playing video games if I'm taking some pain meds, because I know that it'll help manage the pain. Excellent.
And how about eating? You've been eating good, or
bowel movements are irregular, all that stuff. So
what advice would you give to somebody about not worrying too much? I know they don't let you out of the hospital till you have bowel movement, but you weren't having the best of luck at the hospital, but as soon as you got home, everything changed.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes once I got home, it's just like you get in your environment and it feels, you just totally relax.
So expect that to be something that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about pain relief, and would you mind if we took a shot of your back to see if you'll stand up one last time? I know you're getting tired, but let's do this one last time. I'm going to go ahead and free this camera off this tripod so I can come over here. And if you'll face the window, that's pretty good right there, actually. And once again, this is 1 week. I've been home 1 week, so about 2 weeks after surgery, and that tape starts to curl up, and it's okay. It can curl up. That's good, Cole. And you peel it off. You don't pull it off. You just let it peel off a little at a time. Now, would you mind walking to the end of the room and walking back so everybody can see how you do have some? You have to hold your.
That's another thing is don't be worried if your kid is walking a little differently. It's just he or she adjusting, walking. Like the first day, you feel like kind of like dragging your feet, and you feel like you're kind of out of control. But in reality, you just gotta focus on making sure that you don't drag your feet, and that, don't be like doing this or whatnot. But
you walk with purpose.
Yeah, be confident when you're walking. Don't do this. Don't drag your feet. Just walk.
But you can explain why somebody might drag their feet and why they might hold their arms differently. Tell me about that.
Oh, also, if you find your child, or if you find yourself, if you're doing the back surgery, doing this, don't worry about this. This is just because you're getting pulled a lot, and your shoulders are naturally putting your arms wanting to be like this to release the strain. So I sometimes like to do this to help not so much pull on my arms, because it makes you want to like kind of curl up. So just kind of, this is fine, but I kind of like to do this. Just kind of hold myself up.
And so to all the parents out there, don't be giving your children too much advice in terms of how they walk or how they hold the arms if it looks a little different.
Make them walk correctly.
You want to bring it to their attention, but to understand as parents that you're doing it for a reason. It's painful and those muscles are being pulled, and anything you can do to minimize pain, you will do, and that includes holding your arms a little differently and maybe walking a little differently. But try to walk with purpose, and probably doesn't hurt to bring it to your child's attention, but don't. It's nothing.
Walk perfectly.
Don't criticize, because they're doing it because of the pain, and that's the only reason they're doing it. And I've noticed over the last 2 days you've done it significantly less, because I think your pain is starting to subside a little bit.
Less, so.
How about sleeping? How's your sleeping been?
It's been okay.
You like to sleep on your side or your back, or?
I like to mostly sleep on my side, but like the first few days, you usually want to take a Valium and stuff like that, and then I used to start waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but now I wake up 8 or 9.
And how about showers? Tell me about those.
Showers help a lot. Hot showers.
Even though you might not feel like getting up.
Even if you don't feel like it, taking a nice hot shower just relaxes all your muscles and makes it feel a ton better. If you're in agony and you can't wait for the pain meds, take a hot shower. It will help a lot.
And what about, speaking of being in agony and taking pain meds, you spoke about pain management, but isn't some of the key things
to keep track of when you took your medicine, so you can instantly find out when you can take it next. So don't be say you take it roughly around 10, and you're like, oh, well, I don't know when I took it at 10, so I may have to, wait an extra 3 minutes. Just be careful. Write down on a piece of paper what you took and what time you took it, so that you can, schedule your next pain taking. Try to stretch it out too. Just don't try to just take the pain the minute you can get it. Try to stretch it out on how much you take. Yesterday I took 1 oxycodone, whereas the day before I took 2 or 3. So I'm trying to, you try to stretch out how much pain medicine you take.
But you never let it get on top of you.
No, if you're in pain, of course take it. But if you're feeling okay, there's not too much pain, and it's manageable, then try to stretch it out.
And so your sister asked you a question the other night, and I thought it was interesting. She says, so can you feel the rod in your back? And tell me about that. Try to express.
You can kind of feel them. It mostly feels like the curve is gone where it used to be, so it feels a little odd. It feels like there's a vast empty space of where the curve was. So it feels like it's kind of unnatural.
Muscles have to relearn that it's okay to be where they're at.
Yeah.
Well, any last bits of advice? I know this is your 2-week anniversary from...
Don't sit too long. That's one thing they don't really want you to do, is sit too long. So
even though it's tempting.
Try to keep it under an hour, Best is 45 minutes, So try not to sit too much. Laying is the best thing. Actually, walking is the best thing you can do. So try to walk a lot, and if you make sure when you're walking that if you start to feel tired, don't try to like go to a certain spot. If your back starts to feel tired, instantly turn around and start going back, because you don't want to be in pain and tired when you're like halfway home. You want to, because
And what happened to a friend of yours that tried to go too far?
she had to lay down on the. What happened? Oh, she fainted. That's right.
Friend of
She
yours.
was walking too long, and she actually fainted. She had a.
And she'd had spinal surgery.
And she fainted and smashed her.
And cut her chin. So, don't push it, huh?
Yeah.
What about that in general? Don't push it. Well, how would you talk
Yeah,
about
if you're
that?
starting to feel tired, just say that, and then if you're walking with your parents, that's another thing. Just try to walk with one person. Don't try to walk by yourself, because if you start to feel a little unbalanced, it's nice to have a person, holding your arm or whatever to help you stay stabilized. So it's always good to have a parent or guardian with you when you're walking.
How about in the shower? What are we doing so that to keep
We put a towel underneath where I sit to make sure there's not a slippery floor, though.
where you
Towel,
stand?
yeah, the towel keeps it. Make sure that there's traction where I'm sitting. So that's a good thing, is to have a towel underneath on when you're where you're standing, so that you don't slip.
Okay. Any last? Would you like to thank anybody at Shriners? Would you like to tell the folks
Dr.
out there?
Santor, I guess, and all the nice nurses. That's just all my helpful people that I met there. Anyway, bye guys.